Book 2. Chapter 1. Teenage Craze and Fooling Around. Starting my secondary school life was exciting for me. My first taste of freedom. Anderson Secondary School was located in Stevens Road, which was quite close to Orchard Road. Thus the journey from home to school was always full of joy. All the famous boutiques and departmental stores were in Orchard Road area. So for the next 4 years of my life, I was king of Orchard Road. I knew every departmental stores there at the back of my palms, especially Metro and CK Tangs, now known as Tangs. After school, I would go window shopping with my friends. Our craze at that time was stationaries. We would save up our pocket money to buy the high-end stationaries of the yesteryears. We would show off our rulers or mechanical pencils to each other in class. By 13, I was already weighing a hefty 70 kilograms. My physical education master was a real menace. He despised fat kids and made me do extra exercises to shed my fat. Well, he must have thought of my health and well-being. I hated him, and usually, I would escape from physical education sessions ending up eating kachang pute, sugar-coated white nuts, at the back of the school with some friends I befriended. They were scrawny little kids and despised exercises too. The school realized that I was gaining weight rapidly and enrolled me in a weight loss program with the Ministry of Health. I had to go there once a week for checkup and food guidance. I would go 1 week and skip the next. They too had too many fat kids to handle and just ignored my absence. Ha ha ha. I would go for the sessions and on my way home stop at McDonald's and have a filet-o-fish, French fries, and strawberry milkshake. Once again I had proved myself to be a born loser. If I had attended the sessions and been health conscious, I wouldn't be in the situation that I am in now. Book 2. Chapter 2. Secondary School Life and Enduring O-Levels. Although I was a hefty chubby boy, I was active in secondary school. What I meant is that not in sports but other activities like speech and drama and computer club. In the late 70s, joining a computer club was a dream for many as computers were becoming popular. Only the elite cream of the crop got into the computer club and got the usage of the computers there. Here too, I was a born loser. Didn't get into the computer club, so I stuck to the speech and drama society. Maybe that's why my written and spoken English became better as I took part in debates, essay writing competitions and dramas. Another reason for being a mama drama and a dramatic king. When I was 14, my sister, whom we had left back in Malaysia to complete her high school, came to stay with us. She had completed her SPM, O-levels, and my dad decided to educate her in Singapore. He joined her in St. Francis Girls' School to do her A-levels. So the family was united as one, and as usual not enough of space in the house for all. We managed the best we could and made ends meet. In 1979, my last and most favorite aunt was getting married. We had all gathered at my grandma's house for the wedding. It was a wonderful grand occasion, as my last aunt was a favorite among her sisters. She wanted me to be the best man at the wedding and I was really happy and excited. Not forgetting the Indian culture that the best man would be presented with a gold ring by the bridegroom. The wedding day arrived, and I was dressed up in typical Indian attire of jippa, silk shirt, dhoti, talapa, headgear, and a shawl. One of my uncle decided to dress me up to make heads turn. He dressed me up well plus decked me with some of my mum's jewelry and a touch of makeup like lipstick and rouge. I really looked good because of my size and height. In fact, when I entered the wedding hall with the bridegroom, everyone thought that I was the groom. Ha ha ha, because the groom was just simple and plainly dressed, plus he was tall and skinny. Time flew by and I was just an average student in secondary school. Everyone recognized me due to my big size and chubby face. I was 16 and time to take GCE O-levels. My dad monitored my studies but his main interest was on my brother, who had completed his A-levels at Raffles Junior College and was waiting to enter the National University of Singapore. Parents nowadays always send their kids for tuition from primary 1, in order to keep up with the education rat race. But at that time, my dad was the only sole breadwinner and everything he earned was being saved or channeled to my brother's tertiary education. I implored to him to send me for tuition for the difficult subjects, most of them were, but he said no. His answer was that if my brother could do it on his own, why couldn't I? So I did my best that I could, and once again a bitter taste of being a born loser. I did my best for O-levels and got 5 credits. My grades were mostly A's, B's and C's. My dad was utterly disappointed with me as I couldn't enter a junior college to do A-levels. In the 80s, if you made it to a junior college after O-levels, it meant that you were a bright, diligent student. Those who didn't make it to a junior college had 2 options of either going to pre-university center or polytechnic. My dad decided to put me in the pre-university course. I had no say here as I didn't do well in O-levels. I dreaded going to pre-university. In O-levels I had taken all science subjects, but I didn't do well in them, thus I was pushed into commerce stream in pre-university. Another blow on my face. I had to take subjects like economics, accounting, business management, and statistics. What the hell I knew about these subjects? Well, here comes another roller coaster ride for me. Book 2. Chapter 3. Surviving A-levels. I dreaded pre-university life, which was quite like secondary school life. The only difference was that they did not monitor you so closely. Maybe they wanted to treat you like a young adult as you were already 17. After they had taken your attendance for the day, no one looked for you. You could leave the school and no one would know. Thus started my monkey business and frolies. I befriended a few in pre-university and we became a group. We would be in school for attendance and later sneak out through the back gate to loiter the malls and watch movies. This really affected my studies and I did really bad for the subjects. Oops. I forgot to tell you a very important fact. By then, I was 100 kilograms. Bingo. A sumo wrestler. Time came for A-level exams and I did really bad. In order to enter university, you had to pass 2 A-level subjects and 2 O-level subjects. I did get what they needed, but my grades were all B's, C's, and D's. This meant that I did not qualify for most of the good courses in the university. Another big blow for my dad. He really didn't know what to do with me, who was already classified as a useless bum. At that time, my brother was already in National University of Singapore doing civil engineering, and my sister had completed her A-levels, and was doing relief teaching. So, I was the rotten apple in the family. My mum was an exceptional cook, but she believed that boys did not need to learn cooking. Thus, she never imparted her cooking skills to me or my brother. She did teach my sister to cook, but my sister was not least interested. In the later years, she did learn to cook but not up to my mum's standards. My mum was educated in a Tamil school until primary 2. She was able to read and write Tamil, but English was not her forte. She always had a strong desire to make cookies and cakes, but the thought of using the oven terrified her. So, I came into the play. She would make all these and I became her baker. Thus started my passion for baking, especially cakes, cookies and pastries. I did apply for National University of Singapore and got acceptance, but due to my poor results they offered me bachelor's in political science. What the hell was this course? In the 80s no one knew what this course was all about. The only thing is that if you graduated from this course, you could go on to teachers training college and become a school teacher. I was ready to accept this course and become a teacher, but my dad along with my brother were the deciding factors in my life. They told me to reject this course and to redo A-levels again as a private student. I implored to my dad, but he was very adamant. He never gave an ear to listen to my pleas. I even asked him if I could do hotel management or become a pastry chef. His instant answer was, "I do not want my kid to be working in the kitchen and serving people and clearing plates." As a dad, he meant well for the future of his kid. If he had allowed me to do hotel management or become a pastry chef, I would be settled overseas with a chain of restaurants or bakery. Even if he had let me do the political science degree, I would have been a school teacher. Well, another blow on my face and a taste of being a born loser. Book 2. Chapter 4. Time to lose all that fat. I did redo my A-levels and surprise I got the same results. My dad got really furious with me and told me to stay at home. At about this time, my dad got my sister married off. She was a relief teacher and was aspiring to go university. My parents had the most orthodox mentality that most Indian families had. If a girl studied too much, no one would marry her and would be left on the shelf. So, abruptly my parents arranged for her marriage. Her dreams of going university was shattered, plus they were getting her married to a Malaysian living in Johor Bahru. Once again I was the best man and got another gold ring. While my sister was working in Singapore as a relief teacher, she taught tuition to some of the kids in the Malayan railway quarters. When she got married and left, I took over her job. Monthly I was able to earn up to 600 Singapore dollars. In the 80s, that was considered as big money. I really got tired of being 100 kilograms and obese. Plus, with all the nicknames like Fatty, Fat Pig and Swine made my ears sore. I had enough of this torture. I remember distinctly that it was my brother's 21st birthday. My dad celebrated it grandly, by ordering a 3 kilograms buttercream chocolate cake with the number 21. That day I decided that I would start my diet and lose all the fats I had. Not eating the cake was going to be my biggest motivation and my journey to being skinny. After the birthday celebration, there were a lot of cake left in the refrigerator. Most of them hoped that I would devour all of it and be more fat. So, what I did was, I cut up the cake into pieces and distributed them to all our friends and neighbors. They were so glad to receive it, but inside I was the one who was extremely glad that they took the cake from me, and relieved me of my guilty pleasure. I was going through a stringent diet of low carbs and high protein, with lots of fruits and vegetables. My weight started to spiral downwards and a new feeling of being skinny took over me. Within 6 months of starting the diet, my weight went from 100 kilograms to 60 kilograms. The feeling was extremely great. I was now a size M, which I had never been in my lifetime. My parents were happy for me but at the same time worried too. Oh my God, I could actually see my collarbone for the first time in my lifetime, and guess what? I had a long slender neck. That was the most happiest day in my life, and I kept looking and admiring my skinny frame in the mirror. All my clothes did not fit me and it was time to shop. In the 80s, departmental stores like John Little's, Metro, Yaoan, and Daimaru were very popular in Singapore. Since I was earning some money through tuition, I went window shopping daily to try out new clothes. This was something that I never did before in my lifetime. Most of the time my dad would buy me XL size clothes. As for short pants and trousers, a tailor would come to the house to take measurements and tailor for us. I still remember the tailor uncle's words, "Ayo, your son needs extra materials because of his size. Because you are my favorite customer, I am not charging you extra." Since I was skinny now, I was thinking, wait till he sees me now. Clothes at John Little's and Metro were reasonably priced for the average income earner in Singapore. Plus, they had great trendy designs. I ended up shopping for the best and trendiest clothes of the 80s, and paraded around for all to see. All my friends were awed and amazed at how good I looked in these clothes, especially from John Little's as it was import from overseas.